good afternoon, and welcome to the Level Up Lounge podcast with Steph and Chantel. Today we have a very special guest with us, one of my dear friends, Grace.
Hi.
Welcome, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm not going to introduce you. I'll let you introduce yourself.
So I'm Grace. I'm from GD Events Group. I am now calling myself a brand experience architect.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
essentially means that I'm an event planner. But we mainly do corporate events with immersion and sensory-driven experiences and with a marketing and branding flair.
I love that.
Amazing.
I love that.
Who have you worked with? Like, what are the events that you've done recently?
Well, I've worked with the wonderful Chantel Rami.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And a mix of all other brands within all different industries. Who can I say?
Sorry, did that?
This is getting...
Yeah.
Sorry, because it's like
Chantel just slid a phone across.
Like, am I supposed to say something on here?
It was kind of like you were giving her like a secret message.
it was kept flashing.
I haven't done any work for Apple yet, but Apple, I really want to do your work. I really want to do events for you. This is an Apple phone? Yes. Okay.
So Grace,
you're on my radar.
Grace did one of my biggest events that I've ever done. 24 years as a makeup artist. I was so proud to be at the entertainment centre for the makeup show, the exhibition centre.
Yeah.
Thank you for remembering. And it was like massive, right? So this is like one of the biggest
Beauty
makeup
expo.
beauty expos ever
So
in Australia. And Grace did my whole booth styling. And then to the point that when the event started, I had people coming up not to see Chantel Rami, the makeup artist, not to come and play with CR Luxury Cosmetics, which is the reason we were there. It was like, oh, my God, your booth is sensational. I didn't know her too long at that point, so I was giving her a bit of a rundown. I love black. I go, I want black. I love black. I want everything black.
She spoke straight to my heart. I love black.
Yeah. I was like, I love black, not clothes, but like, outfits and men and then I said, she literally, like, we need to insert photos in this podcast.
Yes.
An image.
Yes.
She was like spot on.
So what did it look like? What was in her booth?
The theming was red lips.
Yes.
Big red lips everywhere you go.
Gosh.
Red and black. They're my
Black, gold. So we had spray painted some faux flowers
yeah.
in black and gold.
She's like, I got you big red flowers. I'm like, Grace, I don't do flowers and I want black. So she sat down with her husband, I think, the night or a few nights before, and literally handcrafted every single.
We changed the colour.
That's incredible.
She went out to the trees and like pulled stuff.
Yeah, we
out.
actually did.
Yeah. And like, so the level of her creativity, you know what I mean? And I love that because I'm down to earth, and I love that it wasn't like, oh, we got you the flowers from, so-and-so from Double Bay. No, it was like, I literally went out, pulled them out and made this work.
I cut the tree. No one tell anyone that I cut the tree. Don't tell my husband that I trimmed the one in the front yard. But we had to get it done.
Yeah, like the photos, I'm telling you, people were like, wow.
I really have to see this. I have to see.
Well, then we did one for Rena Sentia.
That's correct.
And Rena Sentia, we did her stall at the Beauty Expo as well. And we've done a few other things as well.
One of the most amazing skincare. Rena Sentia.
But I take the time to like look into the brand and the and the culture of the brand and the story behind the brand. And the story is more important to me than
the brand
itself or the product itself, because it tells you why this product or this brand actually comes to life.
Yeah.
And so Rena is Italian, and her whole theme was Italian beauty. Like, we brought in the Amalfi, we brought in the villages of, in Italy, where you walk down the stone streets with the stone floors, and you've got like carts with lemons, and all of her products are naturally made, and she uses products like lemon and cinnamon and olive oil.
They're all inspired by Italy and
incredible.
Yeah.
So we literally brought all of that into her stand.
Yep.
And created an immersive experience. We transported people back into the Amalfi Coast.
That's amazing.
Just in a 3x3 stand.
And when I visited that day, because Grace was like, "Oh, guess what? I'm working with your friend Rena," and I was like, "Oh my God, love this! Like, I love connecting people." And I went down to support, and wow, the booth was sensational.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite booths.
It was just fresh. It's almost, you could almost smell the ingredients.
And that's
That's
Yeah.
great. And that's
You almost smell it without smelling it.
Yeah.
You know, it was just so fresh.
We literally had cloves, we had cinnamon, we had lemons, we had what's it called? Rosemary, we had olive oil. Like, we were using those products or those ingredients as part of the display to show, like, this you're not just buying any kind of beauty or skincare product or lipstick product. There's something behind it. There's a story behind it. And I want to tell you the story, but in a unique and creative way.
Yep.
And that's what I love doing with my work.
Yep.
I started out doing weddings and social events, which is a lot of fun. But when I'm working with a brand, it means that I'm telling the story of someone's hard work and effort and long hours and dedication and their reason, their why as to why they're doing this. We all have an option to not do this.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We can choose a different, I'm not going to say an easier way, but a different approach and go and work for somebody and fulfill their dreams.
That's right.
But to come out and do something on your own and to build your own brand and to build your own legacy and to build your own ethos, I guess, around the product or the service that you offer.
Very passionate about it. A brand owner is very passionate about it.
But a product or service can just be copied or manipulated into somebody else's product or service, but it will never be the same as yours because if somebody else copies it, they can't copy your brand.
Oh, I've had
they can't copy your story.
Yeah, I've had so many things. Yeah.
They can't copy your story. They can't copy what makes you unique.
Yeah.
They can copy the creativity. They can copy the idea. They can try to make it something better, maybe, I don't know, but they'll never be able to copy what you are.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tell stories of, you know, of a brand or of a business or of a culture, and they'll use forms of, you know, social media, or they'll use videos, or they'll tell a story in that format. But I like to tell that story through an event, and I want people to come into an event and actually experience and feel what it's all about.
Yeah.
And once you feel what it's all about, that's the immersion. You're creating an emotion, you're creating a memory, and you're automatically getting like brand recall, brand recognition. People, when they walk past your stall, they just remembered. It didn't have to be a wow, glitzy setup, but they remembered that there was something different to you.
Of course.
And that's already achieved brand recognition and brand recall. Once you get into the people's minds and get them to remember the reason or some significant thing they either experienced or saw at that time, you've hooked them for the rest of their lives.
It's incredible. Great marketing.
It's almost like an emotional connection.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, you know, and most people are connected when it's emotionally connected.
Correct.
It leaves a different sort of mark on them.
Yeah.
And that's why I was talking about the sensory-driven strategy before, because if you think about it, it's your senses that create that emotion. If you feel something, you smell something, you hear something, you see something, it automatically creates that emotion that's within your brain.
Yep.
And if we can tap into those senses and create, we've got 5 senses, but if we can create the 6th sense of emotion, then like you've already achieved something that is beyond what you can achieve through a social media campaign.
Yeah.
You can even actually implement part of that sensory strategy into a digital campaign.
How do you do that?
Well, because you don't have to necessarily touch all of the 5 senses. You can touch 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So our
Vision?
you got sight, sound. You can't smell, you can't taste, you can't feel, but you are feeling a phone.
Okay.
You've got something in your hand that you're feeling. You're going to remember that I looked at this while I was on my phone, or I looked at it while I was, sitting in front of a TV.
Feeling would also be the emotional part.
Correct.
Yeah.
Emotion is also a feeling.
Well, they're all connected to your emotion. If you see something that is emotionally hooking, you create an emotion. If you hear something, if you hear a song, like you walk into a store and they'll be playing, and this is really science driven, but it's really smart marketing. Like you can walk into like a Peter Alexander and they'll have a playlist that's curated just to get you to spend more time in the store.
It's true. If you notice, a lot of their music is like not Christmas, but it's based around happier time of the year. I've actually noticed that.
Yeah. So
it's all upbeat.
It's not your traditional pop or what's on the radio, but it for some reason when I go into a Peter Alexandria store, I feel Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's very true.
But then
I feel
smell.
like I need to buy gifts, and I'm like, hold on, like we're in February.
But then the smell as well
Yes.
is a custom created smell for Peter Alexander.
Yeah.
So when we did our Come and See event a couple of weeks ago, I custom created a smell that is unique to Come and See.
Wow.
So every time we do that series of events, we will use the same smell because I extracted an emotion from you just by that smell. I wanted to transport people to a place where they felt comfortable and they felt alive, and they felt it was a networking event. It was a corporate networking event. I wanted people to feel comfortable to make real connections, to have conversations.
Yep.
We set the playlist to and so there were actually 3 playlists because I had the pre and then we had speeches and stuff, and then and even the speeches was different. But I had like a lead up into the speeches to get the emotions a bit higher. Then we spoke, and then it sort of started to become more relaxing after that because people were then open to wanting to have conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you walk into a store or when you walk into an environment and they've actually taken the time to work on those senses, they're already getting you to buy without making any effort. Like the salesperson doesn't have to make an effort to convince you to buy something because you already just want to be in that space.
Yeah, 100%. You're comfortable and
And the more time you spend in that space, the more you're going to see something that's different. Oh, you'll think about your purchasing decisions. You'll think about whether you want to buy it. Do I not want to buy it? Well, actually, I like this song, so I want to hang out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll buy it.
Oh, yeah, if there's a Boyz II Men song playing in a store, I'm not getting out of that store while that song's playing. Like, I'm dancing my way through the racks, really, I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's very
Like,
true.
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this shop, like, based on the music that they're playing, is my vibe. And I could literally be in a granny store. Like, I don't know. Just
And like, you know, when you walk past
a
a store and you're like really busy and then you hear that music, like
it draws you in.
and you go, oh, but I really have to go over there, but okay, maybe I'll just walk in because I really like that song. And then I end up buying stuff that I don't even need.
Yes,
I
just
agree.
because I want the song.
I don't understand how people don't like music. Like, music for me it's everything.
Yeah, 100%.
It's in my happy days as well as my sad days, as well as when I need that uplift, straight away.
Yeah.
Like, music for me, and you notice a lot with my posts as well.
Yeah.
I have music on almost 90% of my posts because that's a reflection of me.
Yeah.
That song that I've chosen do you get what I mean?
And songs give
when
you
you're
memories
watching,
as well. Like you remember things. Like they bring you back. It's like very nostalgic.
Watching or looking at my photos or videos and that song's playing, it's also connecting with them on another way too. So, yeah, music's
I want to replay it because I like the song.
Yeah.
See, and that's a sense.
Yeah.
So you don't need to touch 5 senses in one hit just to create an emotional connection. You can get away with doing 3.
Wow. That's incredible.
So put that into business strategy, put that into an event, and forget about just having an event that is all glitz and glamour. And like we walk into these places that are beautifully designed. There's a lot of amazing, incredible stylists out there that create incredible spaces, but there's no emotion to it.
Yep, I agree. That happens quite often. We go to lots of events and like a lot of the time they're great events, but like they are lacking that sensory experience. Like now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but how many times we've been at, like, you know, we're so blessed to be invited to some of, you know, amazing events, with amazing brands, amazing people that we meet. But how many times am I like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, if Grace was here, she would have that table set out a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like, you're always in the back when I'm at events.
Thank you.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it could have just had that beautiful, and they've spent the money, they've done the branding, but just that little bit, that one notch up to make it perfect.
Yeah. I say this all the time, like people spend a lot of money to create the wow factor.
Yes.
But you don't achieve a wow factor just by sight, just by visual. If there's no connection, you're not connecting with people, you're not giving them if it doesn't make any sense, like if you walk into a room that is incredibly wow, but you don't understand why it's all like this. So I've already failed in the objective of what the event is about.
That's such a waste of
I did a thing a few weeks ago where I told people that, and I got it a little bit in trouble, but whatever. But I stick to it.
That's Grace breaking the rules as per usual.
I break a lot of rules. But people spend so much money on flowers, which is beautiful. But if you were to spend just a little bit less on flowers and put that extra budget towards something that created an emotional connection or that really connected or helped you to connect with your guests, you're still achieving that wow factor. But you don't have to go overboard. You're forgetting that there's something more. Like once you get them into that room, they're going to be there for a few hours. You want them to go away and talk about the experience, not just the beauty of the night.
That's right. Not the flowers. Like I personally find that, I shouldn't say a waste, but
it is
exactly what you just said.
It is.
I would most rather spend that in other even in creating a higher budget, say for my people who attended, to take home what it is that I'm selling. I would rather do that because then they go and they experience it.
They've got that to take with them.
Correct.
Rather than a fancy restaurant.
Correct. Well, even if you do a fancy restaurant, right? Curate, like if you want to spend, if your budget is that high that you're spending this much on flowers, that let's just be honest, that after the event's finished, it all goes into the bin. Right?
And nothing gets taken away with the people who have attended.
Even if they take, I mean, it's trending now that people take home a bouquet, right? But how long is that going to last for? It's going to last for a couple of days, a week maybe, and then it goes into the bin. They've forgotten that they took home that bouquet with them.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were to like spend a little bit more on the menu, elevate the menu, create a menu that actually fits what the purpose is.
Yeah, exactly.
I've tasted something that's incredible and I'm going to remember that at that time, at that event, that I don't know what that was that I ate, but I just want it again and again and again and again. And I'll always remember that I had it at that event.
Yeah.
Create something where the entertainment is interactive. I had to get up and do something. Or when a speaker's up on stage, I'm a big like one of my pet hates is going to events where there's a panel of speakers and people talk to you like you're at school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's boring.
It's very boring. I zone out all the time.
Like with our SJAC networking events, we don't do that because I zone out. I don't want to be at an event that I'm bored at.
Like I've spoken at some of your events before and I speak before and I zone out on my own talking. Like I don't want to just stand in front of people and talk.
It needs to be interactive.
It needs to be interactive. I need to like engage with people because once I engage and you open up conversations, you're giving them another opportunity to remember that because I had that discussion with you.
Yeah.
And something that you said made me think of something outside the square. I wasn't sitting in a lecture at uni listening to you talk to me for 20 minutes.
I can't remember half of the lectures I went to.
No, but it's true. But we've been to, you've done so many events over the last 10 years that we've been friends.
Yeah.
But I remember once that Christmas one that we went to.
Yeah.
At the sports.
Bankstown Sports.
Yeah.
We're creating that again, this year. Yes.
Okay, let us know dates.
Dates to be confirmed.
Dates to be confirmed. Can't wait. We'll be there, yeah?
Yeah.
Support Grace. I remember walking into that room and I just was like, so I'd seen Grace that day. I did her makeup and like, what are you wearing? And
I wore red for the first.
Thank you.
First and last time.
Mission accomplished.
I don't think I've seen you in any other colour but black.
Yeah. So Grace
convinced me to wear red.
So this is the part where people book their makeup in and I slightly brainwash them. I'm like, Grace, what are you wearing to it's Christmas. It's your event. It's at this venue and it's fab and blah, 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 blah.
I was actually
wear a red dress. She was going to wear a black dress. I said, girl, let's do swaps today. I'll do a black dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did actually. You were black and I wore red.
I said, I've got your back. Let you be the focus of this event. I wore black to an event, which I very rarely do.
Yeah.
Like evening gown. And I said, you're doing red today. And she looked hot. You were smoking. I walked into that room. She was so uncomfortable.
I was.
I'm
still uncomfortable looking at the photos.
I'm sure you looked amazing.
She was smoking. Her confidence. She owned the room. Like I remember seeing her like a vision and then I walked into the room. The flowers, the entertainment, and the food was
It's just
lovely,
a relaxing.
and the table that we had, like, it was
Yeah.
a Christmas event, but it was massive. Like, she sold out a massive whole event
That's
room,
incredible.
function
Well
room.
done.
Thank you.
And it gave us a chance to like network with other, amazing people and talk to the ones we already knew. And it was just a great experience.
That's so good.
Great experience. So well done on that. And
Thank you.
many more to come.
Yes, many more to
What's
come.
the background behind your business? Like, what made you start
Oh, wow.
your business?
Before you. It was my
Because you're very passionate about it.
I am.
I can tell that you're very passionate about this. You've obviously grown through the years because you're like keeping up with all the trends. And also you need to say where brands can find you. We'll start with that.
Okay. So online everywhere. We're on all platforms.
What's the name of
Instagram, GD Events Group, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
And
under
your
Grace.
website?
My website is gdevents.group.
Amazing.
Very simple.
gdevents.group.
Group. Yeah, I did. We did a little bit of a rebrand last year, and we're in the process of doing some more
Rebrand
next
business.
year.
Yeah, very cool.
Yes. Yes.
So where did the passion come from?
It was, now we're getting a bit serious. It was a health crisis, actually. It was an very early midlife crisis that was a health disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I had been diagnosed at 23 with premature ovarian failure, so menopause at 23.
23.
Terrible.
I was newly married. We'd only been married for just over 1 year, and we were trying to fall pregnant, and it wasn't working out. And so I always knew when I was growing up that there was something wrong with my periods weren't on time. Things just weren't working properly at that time, but I got married and we wanted to start having children straight away. I was quite young, so I didn't think that it was going to be an issue.
Yeah, of course.
But after about 1.5 years of trying, it wasn't working. Go to the doctor, and the doctor would say to me, put your legs up or turn upside down or like stand, do all these weird and wonderful things, and none of those weird and wonderful things were working. So we started to go and see some doctors and start to do some tests. And that's when we discovered that there was something not right.
Yeah.
I'm an only child, and my parents got married later, and my mum was 35 when she got married, fell pregnant on the pill on her honeymoon and didn't know she was pregnant.
Wow.
Miscarried because she didn't know, and she was still on the pill.
Yep.
And then straight away fell pregnant with me. So pregnancy was never an issue for her.
Yeah.
She was just like that.
Yeah,
So
and at 35 too.
at 35,
Yeah.
she was up in the
That's right.
age.
Harder at that age.
Yeah. And so me at 21, 22, trying to fall pregnant and it wasn't working. What's going on?
What's happening?
Like if my mum was okay, why is something wrong with me?
Yeah.
And so it took a lot of investigation, and then they realized that my ovaries were shrinking and there weren't many eggs in my ovaries.
Gosh.
And then that just
At 23.
Yeah, that's terrible.
it was it was hard.
So hard.
Very hard. But, I mean,
and it was a new journey that we had to face with IVF.
Yep.
I don't even remember how many IVF cycles I've done. That's how many. I can't even remember. And then that wasn't working, so they told us that the only solution was that I'd have to go overseas and get an egg donor.
Okay.
So we travelled to Lebanon and we travelled to Greece, and I was able to do 5 cycles of egg donor fertilised embryos that I would take from my husband with the anonymous egg donor. 5 miscarriages. I never survived more than 7 weeks.
And then
never lasted more
and
than.
then they pop that and insert that into you. Is that how it works?
Yeah, they would take from him, take from her,
Yeah.
and then put it back to me, and I would be the bearer of child. At one stage, in Lebanon, I had 6 fertilised embryos implanted, and they all latched, and I miscarried all of them by the 7th week.
Wow. That's so hard.
It was a really hard journey of just health and going back and forth to doctors. And
How was your husband through all of You're still with your husband?
Yes.
And he's been your rock?
he's my
And he's
pillar.
been so supportive throughout this. That
19
is, what a good man.
19 years
Yeah, that's
of
incredible.
marriage.
That's incredible.
You know, if you look at that situation, with
Yeah.
all due respect, you know, 22, he would have been, you know,
Yeah.
both
He was 35.
35, but still both quite young.
Young.
You know, he could have been like, you know,
Yeah, easily said, sorry.
without being rude, but as in like technically, but they're like, and I know them both very much on a very personal level. Grace is like family to me, and their love is just
That's incredible.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and it's what got you through a lot of your hard times.
absolutely.
That's right.
A lot of your hard times.
Yeah.
He's been my savior in so many ways that it's
Incredible.
Like I owe him more than I can give him, because
I'm sure that he brings stuff to the table. He's been there for you. You've been there for him.
You don't know him.
You don't owe him anything.
That's teamwork.
Yeah,
that's just
100%.
true love.
Yeah, that's true love.
That's God's unity of
I was
something.
going to say that's a true definition of a beautiful Christian marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
That through the ups and the downs, you know, and there were things out of your.
Yeah,
You know,
it was out of my control.
It's not like he was being a bad man. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do
Yeah.
with your characters.
Yeah.
That was God's will, and
Correct.
and you both.
But it took it hit me in ways that I didn't expect. Like, so the health is one thing, going to doctors and doing procedures and continuous injections and hormones and treatments and laparoscopies and everything else.
Emotionally, like
I was a disaster, and I was like this. I was always ramped up with all these hormones all the time.
Would have been in your head too.
It was just a nightmare. And then I got to a point where my health started to get worse. And with all of the treatments and with all of the stress and with all of the continuous going back and forth, my uterus became enlarged and inflamed. And my last, can I talk about?
Yeah.
This is Level Up Lounge's neck bedside.
My last miscarriage lasted a year and a half. They couldn't stop the bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
So at one stage, my doctor, my gynecologist, who was working at the Royal Hospital for Women, who a big shout out to, because they are incredible, and they have looked after me in my darkest moments. But he was at one point getting medication from the UK and getting medication from overseas just to try to stop bleeding and try to get my body back into a normal.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. And with that came immense pain that's like contraction pain. So I'd wake up in the morning to go to work. I was working, I had a job, and I was going to work to work. And I'd wake up, and there were days that I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, I was in that much pain that I couldn't get out of bed. And for me to function through my day, I was on high painkillers just to get through a normal day. And then you go to work, and you have there's an expectation of you have to be at a certain level to perform in your job.
Yeah.
You're dealing with all of that.
Yeah, it's
And then
hard.
people didn't understand or didn't want to understand that there's something going on with me, personal.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was doing really well in my career. Like, I was continuously getting headhunted for bigger and better jobs. And then I finally got headhunted for what I thought was my dream job. And they were offering me like a stupid amount of money to do what I thought I really wanted to do, which was still it was in print production, but it was still related to marketing and branding. So I have a marketing background. And I took the job, and I lasted 1 year, because during that time was my last miscarriage, and my health was getting worse, and I would have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And I'd come home from work and continue, because we had hot desks, so we were always working. So I'd come home from work and still continue working, and I was an emotional mess. I was really not well, so I couldn't function properly, and I was still expected to be working more than
38, 40 hours a week.
Yeah, it was a stupid amount of time just to get the work done. And then if I'd go back and say there's something wrong with me, like, like, what do you mean there's something wrong with you?
They would understand.
They just don't
don't understand.
You're paid to do a job, you need to deliver, full stop.
Correct.
There's no humanity, no.
Correct. No one cared that I was going through something. And I say that knowing as well that if you're an employee or if you're a business person, you should never use your personal scenario as an excuse.
Of course.
But it's not using your personal scenario as an excuse. It's more just being human beings and saying, like, care. Just as simple, are you okay?
Yes,
You look very well
right.
today. You look very pale.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong? Like, you seem like you're in pain. Can I would you like a glass of water?
Yeah.
Can I get you a Panadol? Just that simple level of care without having to like make a big fuss about it didn't exist. And so at that point, like I can say that I was in my deepest, darkest depression. Like there were thoughts that I don't even want to talk about. That is not what I want to talk about. And I was a mess. I was a complete mess. And I'm always the type of person who I'm honest. Like I used to go to the doctors and the doctor would say to me, the first thing he'd say to me is, Grace, I think you need to go and see a counselor, a psychologist. Like there's something, your mental health and your emotional health is just going downhill. We need to do something about it. They tried to put me on antidepressants. I stopped taking them. And every time I'd go back home from an appointment with the doctor, if Pierre, my husband, wasn't with me, like my mum or like whoever, if they weren't with me, the first thing I'd say is, doctor wants me to go. He's given me a referral. He wants me to go and see a psychologist or something.
Yeah.
And my husband would be like, no. And I'd be like, but what do you mean? I need help. I need someone to talk to. I'm going through something and I need help.
Yeah.
And I still remember this like it was yesterday. And he'd say to me, if you want someone to talk to me. No one that you're going to go and pay to talk to is going to love you or care about you more than I would. And if you can't talk to me, talk to your mum or talk to your parents. And if you can't talk to either of them because there's just something that you don't want to say, get in your car and drive down to the church and sit in front of God and talk to him, because that's where your answer is. And if you talk to him, he will lead you to find a solution. You don't need to pay someone to listen to you. You don't need to pay somebody to give you help. And I'm not saying like there's a lot of people out there who do a lot of work in psychology and counselling, and they're fantastic.
In saying that, it's obviously important for certain people.
Correct. And I'm a big advocate for it. Like I think people should look after mental health.
Yes.
But my journey took me to the church.
Yep. Everybody's journey is different.
Everybody's journey is different.
And a lot of people find the church a safe space and it has helped so many people.
So many people.
So many people. 100%.
And it would be those deep, dark nights where I would literally, and like I do a lot of work for the church. So there would be these deep, dark nights that I would literally just get up out of nowhere, get in my car and drive down and then call somebody to say, can you please open the church for me? I just need to be alone.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there for hours and I'd cry and I'd yell and I'd like have a hissy fit and I'd really go all out, and there would be no one there except me and God. And then I'd walk out and I feel like I can breathe again. And I still do it to this day.
Yeah, it's like a weight shifted off.
Yeah.
I still do it to this day. And that's how my journey, I was very religious anyway, but my journey to faith grew stronger through that.
Yeah.
And then it was one time at work where I was literally having the worst day and I was not well at all, and something had gone wrong with work. Like I had made a huge stuff up and my boss just didn't care. Like nothing was acceptable. Just didn't care.
Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't an issue that couldn't be fixed. Like I always go to you with the problem but have a solution.
Yeah.
So I had given him the solution and he just didn't care. Like the fact that there was a problem was unacceptable. And I came home that day and I thought, nah, like I worked so hard to get into this job, and then I realised that this is not really what I want.
Yeah.
And at that time, we were talking about the fact that I was going to have a full hysterectomy. So I knew that was coming up, and that was like another weight on my shoulders because that
you don't want to let go.
Yeah, that was
that
just
meant that you weren't able.
Yeah,
correct.
To then
that meant that I had to close that chapter, and any thought of having children is completely gone. So I had to get to the point where we had to make that decision to go through the surgery, and then I'd go to work and I'd have to deal with all this rubbish.
No,
like in perspective,
yeah.
And I was emotionally not well, mentally not well, physically not well. And I came home one day and I said to Pierre, my husband, I said, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. And he goes, oh, have you got offered a new job? Because I was still being headhunted.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I haven't. And he said, so what are you doing? And I said, I'm going to quit my job, and I've thought about this really, really properly, and I've decided that I want to be a wedding planner. And he's like,
what? It's almost as weird. It's almost as weird as me saying I want to leave law to do makeup.
You want to what? And I said, I want to be a wedding planner. And he said to me, why? And I said, because the happiest day of my life was the day that I married you. And if I can...
Good way to get what you want out of your husband. Ladies, take note. This is relationship advice. Relationship advice for all the women.
There's always a way. And I said to him, if I can be surrounded by people on their happiest days and in their happiest moments and help them to bring that day to life, then I'm forced to be happy within myself.
Yeah.
That's my medication.
Yeah.
That's my way of saying get out of your negativity. And I'm a big believer that you are the environment that you live in.
100%.
If I'm surrounded by happy people all over the place, celebrating beautiful memories and making beautiful, like taking a huge step, but it's like a memory that will last forever.
Yeah.
And if I've had something to do with that, I'm forced to be happy for them. And he's like, okay, I get you. And I think this is a good idea, but you can't go and open your own business doing something that you don't know anything about. If you really want to do this, you need to go back and I got my degree in business, major in marketing. He said to me, if you really want to do this, you have to be qualified to be an event planner. So you need to go and study something because you can't just go and open a business and tell people that you want to do their weddings and have no idea what you're doing. So he's like, you want to do it? Go do some research and see if there are any courses available. So he went to work the next day and came back, and I had like this table of like different courses that were online courses. And I said to him, okay, I've done my research and these are all the courses. They're online. This is how much it's going to cost and this is how long it's going to take me. But this is the one that I've already chosen that I want to do, and I'm going to enroll in it. But I'm just telling you that this is what I'm doing so you know what's going on.
He's like, my life's gone. Woo.
He's like, no, she's actually really serious that she actually wants to pay for it to do it, and she's going to put the effort into doing it. He's like, okay, if this is what you think you want to do, go do it.
Yeah.
So I enrolled, and at that point I had quit my job and like I was working part-time just to, help out around the house and everything. Yeah. Enrolled into the course. It was supposed to take 6 months. It took me a little bit longer. I just couldn't get my act together.
Especially when it's online learning.
Yeah.
You procrastinate a lot.
Yeah, you procrastinate.
Yeah.
And then I had like the health stuff going on.
Yeah, of course.
And during that time I had my hysterectomy. And so when you have a full hysterectomy, I had to have a C-section cut because that's just the way that it was supposed to be. My recovery was longer because I have this big wound.
Yeah.
So I had to be couch ridden or bed ridden. I couldn't drive or do anything for 6 weeks. So I'm sitting there on the couch for the first week and everyone's coming to visit me and everyone's so sad and everyone's like, oh. And I'm like, I can't spend the next 6 weeks doing that.
No. You need happiness.
I need to get out of it. I need to snap out of this because otherwise I'm going to go back into where I'm trying to get myself out of, and I've already like progressed a little bit. So the times when there was no one there, I thought this is the best time to do something that's productive. You can't sit here and sulk and woe me
Good
the
mindset.
whole time.
Good mindset.
You got to do, if you can't physically do something, get up and do something, you bring the work to yourself and do something that's productive.
Yep.
So I finished my diploma in event management.
Good on you.
And I graduated while I was recovering from surgery. And then that's where GD Events was born.
Love that.
Yeah, so she started out in weddings.
Yeah.
Now she's moved up to corporate.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
You know, not just as a dear friend of mine, but you are an inspiration.
Yeah, 100%.
Honestly, I think this is worthy of a hug because we share your
You're amazing.
even, you know, deepest part of your life and
Yes.
your health with us. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
I'll come give you a hug later.
Okay.
you are an inspiration, and you know, with not just obviously with your events, with GD events, but with you as a person. Always very kind.
Yes.
Always spreading love.
Thank you.
Very good mindset to have, like, you know, the positivity through everything that you've been through. I feel like it's made you stronger. It's made
Absolutely.
you more determined.
Absolutely.
And like you can already tell, like, just by you talking about your brand and about talking about, you know, the things that you do, you're very passionate about it, like very passionate, and you know your shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. That's the difference between an event planner and you. Do you know what I mean? You are on the next level. Anyone can plan an event.
That's right.
But they don't think about all of the little, you know, the sensors and all the other bits.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
And that's why I've called myself a brand experience architect.
Amazing.
Because an architect will look at a plan and look at every single detail of the plan.
That's right.
And how to build the house or build the structure. I do that in the form of an event. I'm not building a structure.
So good.
And I'm the details are important to me, but I go beyond just the visual details. There has to be meaning. If I've come with this story and I'm passionate about what I do because this is the journey that brought me here, then what's your story? What's your passion? I want to hear your passion. I want to feel and experience your passion.
You actually care about the brand, and you care about what they stand for, which is really important because a lot of people don't.
Yeah. I can create a beautiful space, but it doesn't represent who you are.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So myself as a makeup artist and the founder of CR Luxury Cosmetics, Grace brought my vision.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Brought my vision to life,
Yeah.
and still continues to whenever we
I'm
work
wearing
together.
CR.
Love
right
that.
now.
Thank you. You know, we're wearing expensive.
I am.
Oh,
My favorite. How could I come onto your show not wearing it?
thank you. See, guys, surround yourself with people who support you. It's
That's
amazing.
right.
But yeah, no, I think it's truly both Steph and I's. We're so grateful.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Is there? So you've already told us where people can find you.
Yes.
Do you want to leave on a last note?
Yeah, I actually do. Just a thought that came to mind, maybe just a word of empowerment. Never look at a negative as a woe factor. Always look at it as an opportunity, because the negative will come into your life for a reason to show you that there's something that you need to improve on in yourself, in your surroundings, in your life, in your faith, in whatever it is. Think of it as, why is this obstacle in my course, and what do I need to do to get over that obstacle, and how can I use this obstacle or this challenge to become a better person?
That could be with anything, relationships,
everything.
Yeah.
And how can I use that to help other people who are going through a scenario? So never keep it to yourself. Don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Give that support and that love to everybody else.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And then that's how we make the world a better place.
Yes, I agree with you. 100% agree.
Love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grace, for being
so
on the Level Up Lounge podcast. Thank you.
And thank you to Mic'd Up Studios, our major sponsor. Incredible. Thanks for having us.